2020's two geeks from across social media formed an alliance to bring you geek news from across the Nostalgiaverse. They are Jacob's Toys and SuperSorrell. So strap yourselves in for the weekly live show that brings you toy news, TV and movie reviews, special guests, opinions, tangents, and bad impressions. Reveals, releases, thoughts, and maybe dreams. So prepare yourselves for the Geek Week in Review. Live.
Hello. hello. Welcome to the Geek Week in Review, episode 144, with me, Jacob's Toys, and of course, the wonderful one and only SuperSorrell. This is episode 144, and then we are supposed to have a special guest this week, but with a couple of issues going on. Bear with us. Hopefully he'll be joining shortly. But either way, we have got lots and lots to talk about. Let's jump on the comments very quickly and just say hello to a couple of people that are with us live. We have got Ezra Gantos, Todd World, Sean the Sheep, Lula Sophie. Hi, how you doing? Andy Roberts is there. Started with a click. Shelley, nice to see you. Mick Spector's in the chat. Hello, Mick. We've also got Bethany Beth. And I will get to the rest of you. Oh, Figure Fan 36. Let's go. We will get to the rest of you as we go on. So please do jump on the comments and join in the chat as we go through the show. We have got lots to talk about. We have got lots of toy news. We've got lots of entertainment news. We have got lots to discuss. It has been a very good week, hasn't it, Sorrel?
Yeah, very good week. We've had some great releases, some great toy news. It's just been a good week all around this week.
Yes. So Mick Spector in the chat said, I hope you talk about how friggin' ace Frozen Empire is, and apparently critics were shown a different film. We will talk about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. We will get to that a little bit later. So a little bit of a spoilers for anyone that hasn't seen it. Mick Spector said, turn your mic up, Ash.
I'm going to switch to the webcam mic and see if that makes a difference.
Let's see if it makes any difference. But yes, we will get to it. So there's a little bit of a spoiler here for you guys. We will discuss that a little bit later in the show, but we will give you a shout before we do so. So if you haven't seen it, then of course you can mute us or come back or whatnot. We of course, bit of static there, Ash.
Is that better?
It is better, but it sounds like you're in a lift.
You're gonna now hear the humming of the evil computer that wants to die on me any second.
Try plugging your headset in again.
Okie dokie. Don't talk about me while I'm gone.
Where's he gone? Oh, he's actually gone. He's actually just left. Right, it's just me. It's just me on the Geek Week. We are also going to talk, of course, about X-Men 97. X-Men 97 had the debut of the first two episodes, so we will 100% get to that as well. That's been a very exciting show. Let's be totally honest. That has been very, very cool. We are also going to talk about all the toy news that we've had this week. We've had a whole load of drops and reveals and stuff, so we are going to get to that. So it's going to be a very packed week indeed. Hoping that most of you there in the chats have seen X-Men 97. First two episodes came out, and just while we're waiting on Ash, here he is. He's back. He's back.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay. Oh. I'm glitching though. What the hell is going on? Ooh.
Well, no, you're all right on this end. Oh, you are a little bit glitchy.
Yeah. Ooh.
I think it's time that Mr. SuperSorrell invests in a new PC. So we will set up a GoFundMe for SuperSorrell's new PC. Oh, he's gone now. He's gone. Oh, he's actually gone again. Oh, the joys of live streaming. It started with a click. Shelley said, I'm seeing it next week, so I will mute when you're talking about it. Bethany Beth said, I will mute too. I know there's Mick Spector saying that.
Any better?
Yeah, that's better, mate.
Ooh, I think I've got a dodgy USB on my thing. Right, I need to avoid that USB port. Damn.
Yeah, that's much better. It's a lot clearer.
Okie dokie.
Not
Daft
bad.
PC.
Bigger fan 36, Daft PC. If you are
It's
watching
gone quiet now as well. It stopped humming. Whoa. My computer's possessed, man. Ghostbusters.
Yeah, there you go.
Who are you going to call?
If you are watching us on catch up though, Mr. Sorrell, what is it they need to put in the chat?
Hashtag catch up crew. You ain't like a full mouthful of water. Hashtag catch up crew.
I'll wait until you had a mouthful. Yes. Hashtag catch up crew for anyone watching us on catch up. But yes, it's been an incredible week. So where are we going to start? We're going to talk entertainment. Should we talk toys first?
Yeah, we can. There's not a lot. There's some. There
has some.
There's some.
There's definitely been a few on the Star Wars front, though, haven't there?
Yeah, but Repack City. It's Repack City for Star Wars. They did the little live stream, and I was so disappointed. This week was meant to be the week where, because I planned out all my live streams for my channel, and I'm like, right, I'm gonna go live when Mattel stops talking. I'm gonna go live when Hasbro stops talking. We're gonna talk about the toy news. It's gonna be amazing. And then Mattel's stream was crap. Hasbro's stream was crap. Like, what has been announced this week? There was so much toy news meant to come out, and nothing happened.
Yeah, it's they weren't great, but there was a bit of toy news. That's the positive. That is the positive.
Yeah, so like Mattel, they did their big stream, the Mattel Creations revealed, but they revealed everything on the Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday was just them recapping it and then throwing in some Uno cards and going, look, we're releasing this Uno set too. There's like 50 Uno sets announced, which is insane.
Yeah, I'm not fussed about those things. Those things really weren't, they didn't bother me too much.
And I've just got 6. I know he's still in the chat, but Mick and all the guys that laughed in my live stream the other night and said because they're all channel members and they get to choose videos. I bought it. I've bought it. Bedtime story coming up, guys. Members chat. Bedtime story coming up. Mick said, "Read me a bedtime story." So I went out and bought the Little Golden Book of Gremlins, and I'm going to read Mick a bedtime story on a video tomorrow.
Is this some kind of weird OnlyFans kind of? when CBBS get like pseudo celebs in to read it, and like they all read it in a very sultry way. Well, SuperSorrell After Dark coming up tomorrow, people. Stay tuned. Are you gonna film it from the bed and like?
I'm going to film it from the living room in my leather chair with a little lamp on. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we're going to discuss.
Amazing. Yes, so there's a few channel members there. Andrew Haxley in the chat as well said, "Thank you guys for making me happy and laughing. You guys are the best." Appreciate that, Andrew. Thank you very much.
No worries, dude.
Yeah, that's all good.
Sorrell's only fan club.
Sorry, it's only fan club.
I'm pretty sure it was Shelley.
Sorrell bedtime hour. They're saying there as well. That's all good. I'll tell you what. Diamond Select did do a couple of drops as well. Did you see that War Machine?
Yeah, the War Machine looked nice. There was they dropped a few things, didn't they, this week? Diamond Select.
Yep.
Yeah, because I saw the House of Dragon gallery as well. That looked nice.
Yes.
The statue of Matt Smith.
Yes.
But War Machine looked very good.
Yeah, very much in the same kind of vein as the some of the other suits of armors. So sure, it will look absolutely fantastic alongside those. But yeah, that one definitely caught my eye. I wonder if it's gonna come with a load of accessories and sort of blast effects, because one thing Hasbro did do well with their recent kind of retro War Machines is give you all of the kind of accessories as in the blast effects and all that kind of stuff, and it really works when you've got kind of Iron Man and War Machine looks like he's geared up for something,
Yeah, I would hope so. I know they've given us an alternate head, because this is the first picture.
Yeah.
And then they've sort of given us this one. So we have got blast effects on there, because they're not on that one. So, I mean, they must give us some blast effects. And we also get the unmasked head as well, which is nice.
It's a really good sculpt.
It really is. Getting better and better all the time, these head sculpts.
Yeah, I'm really liking these new Marvel selects as well, because the kind of the smoothness of the designs and the articulation's a lot better. Like they've definitely come leaps and bounds from some of the ones, even as sort of close as sort of 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But they are very, very nice figures, and I think that this would look quite good next to, like, if you're a Legends collector, I think this one would look quite good next to the Legends, because even though they scale up a little bit, they're not hugely bigger. So it's about
Yeah.
7 inches. So it would actually look quite beefy next to your Iron Man figures and stuff. Joby1 in the chat saying, sorry I'm late, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Joby1. Hope that you have a great day.
100%.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We're not going to sing, but it's fine.
Maybe you're not. Maybe. No. Can you imagine?
Happy birthday.
The way my voice has been this way, the way my throat's been, Jesus Christ, if I start singing, I'm going to break my voice.
Oh, really? Really?
Oh, yeah, we've been going again all week.
So, should we talk about the Star Wars figures and then lead into...
Oh, he's determined to get these Star Wars figures out of me, isn't he? Right, here we go. Repack City. Let's have a look. Repack City.
Listen,
So...
I'm not about this. These, whatever. Repack. Boring.
But the thing is, right, the stream that they did, right, they should have just called it, we got new stuff to show you stream, because they called it the Dark Side stream, right, and then didn't give us any Dark Side characters, and it wound me up. And then they gave us this afterwards, which is the Dark Side stuff that they should have announced on the live stream, but they randomly gave us afterwards. I don't understand the logic.
Yeah.
Stupid Hasbro. Anyway, yeah, these are repacks, but still, it's nice the fact they're going to give us the white Grievous again. I know a lot of people struggled to get that, although I do like the fact that we are getting Dark Side card backs with a red line on it. So these are clearly the Dark Side ones. Are they going to do the same thing with the light side? We're going to get like, will Luke have a green one and a blue one, or like, you know? I'm just wondering, thinking out loud. But yeah, it's nice to have all the red ones. That's going to be a nice little set if you're going to collect all the bad guys only. That'll be a good way of doing it.
They're nice for inbox collectors, like you know.
100%.
I think they're quite cool, like for inbox collectors.
Let me get the photos of the ones we want to talk about. Though I know which ones you want. I know which ones you want.
You know which ones. Started with a click. Shelley said, "I've seen your birthday haul, Joby1. Hope you got lots of stuff." I'm waiting for these photos. These are the ones that I've been looking forward to.
So we want to... Right, here we go.
Interestingly, though, the internet has been a little bit divided about these. Like, some people have been really hyped about them, and some people have been, like, not so hyped about them.
That's the internet. That's the logic of the internet. You mean this one? You looking forward to this one?
No.
Holocron Collection. No, is this not the one? You're not looking forward to a bit of Darth Maul, a bit of Repack City?
You know what? I really liked these, the concept of these, but then when I saw how rubbish the light was,
it lights up their feet only.
Yeah, I wasn't. But the thing is that I kind of expected the lights on this to be something different because, oh, there you go. That's pretty much it. But from doing like action figure photography and stuff, when you've got translucent figures and you even if you stand them on a light, it doesn't go all the way through. So I expected that there was going to be some kind of, I don't know, wizardry in that light that was going to give it some.
However, if you get that little light and you use the 3¾ inch version of Obi-Wan Kenobi, it does shine all the way through it and it does look really, really cool. The 6-inch figures are too big and too dense. Yeah. But the 3-inch figures, if you've still got any of the look, like I've got the Rebels version of Obi-Wan, which is the the message that Ezra and that get from Episode 3. Don't come back to the temple, that time has passed. There's that little message that he does, the Order 66 message. And if you put that little figure on one of the pucks, it actually lights up really well. Looks stunning.
I've kind of said to myself I will get one of these at some point, but yeah, I don't know. There's not too fussed.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's these ones you wanted.
Yeah.
So I like this one, except for his neck. His neck looks ridiculous, but we'll get onto that. Jedi Knight Yord Fandar.
How do you
from
pronounce
the Acolyte?
The show? How do you pronounce the show?
Acolyte.
Acolyte. Yeah. See, that's what I've been calling it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard people call it all sorts of stuff, but Acolyte. Yeah, so I don't know. For me, it's really cool to see kind of a new Jedi sculpt and new Jedi characters, because these are customization all over it. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so much potential with these, but people are kind of saying that these are going to be similar to the Obi-Wan figures, and they're just going to end up on discount shelves, or they're going to be like the Eternals wave, which just went down to stupid money. But I don't know. I don't know if they will. I think we might be surprised at these.
Yeah, it could go one of two ways. If the program is really good, these will be really hard to come by in a few months' time because everyone's going to want them. However, if the program tanks after a few episodes, then these figures are going to sit on shelves for years to come. But it all lies on the program, doesn't it? But I'm looking forward to it. The trailer looked good. The trailer looks very feudal Japan, which I kind of like. It has that sort of like Japanese feel to it, in my opinion. Yeah. The way they're sort of approaching lightsabers this time around is a lot better. And that scene at the end where you see all the Jedi light the lightsabers and it's one bad guy versus like 5 Jedi, that shows you the power of the Sith like on the balance at the moment, which is kind of cool. So
and the whole angle that they're kind of going down, very much like the Sith is like a new, like it's obviously at the rise of the Sith.
Yeah, so this is set when Yoda is about 300 years old. So Yoda is a young man at this point. He's not an old Jedi at this point. He's probably, it would be cool to see if he's a Jedi Master yet, or whether he's still, you know what I mean, earlier in his training, whether he's still a Jedi, like accomplice or whatever we want to call it, another name. He's not quite the Master rank yet. He's just a Jedi Knight. That'd be cool. But yeah, I think it would be cool if Yoda's in it, because I mean he is going to be he is in the High Republic comics, and also this is also around the time of like the beginnings of Darth Plagueis the Wise. So it could be including that storyline, but I doubt it. I think they'll probably want to stay away from Plagueis and Skywalker this time around, and I think they're going to focus on purely on a new Sith, new Jedi kind of angle. But it would be cool to see Yoda back.
I think that I think one of the biggest, when you're kind of Joe Public fan thinks of Star Wars, they think of lightsabers, they think of Jedis, they think of Sith. And I think one of the things that we're missing at the it's is a new inclusion of that element of Star Wars. Like, it's like, let's not lie, Jedis and stuff is what made Star Wars cool.
Oh yeah.
It was the bit that kind of put it on the map. It wasn't about it being a shooty space film. It was about the fact that they had these cool characters with light swords and, you know, all that stuff. And where Star Wars has grown, this is my personal opinion, but where Star Wars has grown, they've kind of drifted away from that, especially in recent television shows and stuff. And you're kind of missing out on that audience of people that are like, this is cool, this is like Space Knights, you know. So I think that this show has real potential to kind of bring that back to the audience and to the new audience and stuff.
Yeah, I believe this is like, from what I've read so far on the High Republic, this is like the era where the Jedi's at its height. Yeah. Like the you saw it, like they had loads of kid recruits. They were still doing that whole thing, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with it.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, the Jedi Knight Yord Fondar, this is the first figure that that we've got, number 4 in the collection. Yellow lightsaber, quite interesting.
Pretty cool.
I think from looking at the trailer, I think the idea of what the lightsabers mean has been thrown out completely, and they're just going for fancy colours now. Yeah. But yeah, he's got a ridiculous neck, though, hasn't he? That neck is huge.
Very long neck. I don't know whether that's intentional or whether that's just messed up. But
better for Jediing it is.
Yeah, it's very long neck.
So yeah, very long neck dude with a nice cloth cape though.
They all come with robes as well, which is very cool.
And all the hilts are different as well. All the lightsabers are different, which is cool.
Yeah.
Because they could have easily just repacked a plain black hilt in, but they didn't.
He hasn't got a long neck in the artwork there, though.
Yeah, just in the figure. Hopefully, with that'll change by the time we get to it. But you know, we'll see.
There's a lot of photos of him.
There is, and then Trinity from the Matrix.
Yep. Jedi Master.
Jedi Master Indara.
Yeah.
She's got a green lightsaber. Okay, black and red hilt. Again, it is Trinity from the Matrix.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to get over that at all.
Yeah, they go even doing the pose.
Yep, and may I just say what I love about anything else? Hasbro had to put this.
What? What is
I'm. That
Light
tickled
figures do
me.
not light up.
That tickled me more than anything on the planet. Figure does not fly. It's like, all right, Buzz Lightyear, calm down.
This is
Not a flying toy. It's because someone's put her in the Matrix pose, literally, and they've gone, she can't do that. Like, who picks up that figure thinking it can fly? Anyway.
That's crazy.
It's because somebody in America will sue. That's the thing, if they don't put it.
Yeah.
Again, this is the one thing I hate about these figures. Oh, they're using that book, but it looks like she's wearing a very saggy diaper.
A big nappy, yeah.
Yeah, it looks awful. But we haven't moved away from that yet. That's still the baggy pants. Is it Princess Leia book?
Yeah.
And it's got that big crotch piece on it. It just looks awful.
What I do like about figures, and you can see it on this one and the last one, obviously the costume design, is like the arms and the wrist guards and like with her.
Oh,
she's
yeah,
got two different hands sort of thing. Like I just think that they look very interesting, and that's obviously more down to the character design and the costume design and stuff. But yeah, I just think it's very cool.
Oh yeah, very nice. I like the figures. Don't get me wrong. As much as I'm taking the mic, they have issues, but I do like them. And I did say on my live stream when I sort of talk about with these guys, I was sort of saying that I will probably buy them. You know, I mean, these will probably be the first Black Series that I've bought in a long time.
Yeah, I just think to have like a Jedi shelf and to be able to kind of go back and pick up some of the other Jedis, that to me was just quite an exciting concept.
Yeah, so oh God's sake, Jedi Master Saul was the next one. He's the main guy from the trailer.
Yeah, looked very cool.
Very solemn face, contemplating. But yeah, again, he's got blue lightsaber. Surely he should have the green. But anyway, he's the trainer of the younglings and stuff. Surely he should be the green one, in my opinion. But each their own.
He looks thinner as well. I don't know
a
if
lot
that's just
thinner.
the pictures, but it does look a lot thinner, doesn't it?
It does on that one, but it doesn't on that one. I think it's how they've done the picture.
Oh, okay.
It looks pretty standard on that picture there. But he's got a plain black hilt.
Yep.
And he's got the nice coloured guards on his arms and stuff, and the nicotine coloured tunic.
Yeah. Been in a smoky room.
It just looks like when you pick up a stormtrooper from a very smoky home from 1970. But no, again, I will definitely probably get if any of the figures, it will be him. And there's the one coming up in a minute that I like as well, which is the Jedi Apprentice. She looks pretty cool.
Oh, go back. All the points make out. Zoom in on the side of the box.
Yeah, it's now straight. It's no longer.
No. Right,
What do I
scroll
zoom in
down.
on?
Scroll down. See that there? The little blastery looking thing over his arm. Go up a bit. See that?
That, yeah.
Yep. So that's a tease at the next potential character, because Hasbro have now re-released this image without that bit in.
Oh, it'll be the Wookiee.
It's what?
It'll be the Wookiee.
Yeah, but they've re-released the images of this book, removing that little robotic-looking thing. So whatever that clue is there, they've reissued those pictures.
Yeah, I think it'll either be the Red Sith bad guy from the trailer, or it'll be the Wookiee, because the Wookiee wears like chain kind of like stuff as well. From what I've seen so far, and he's got like a man bun as well. The Wookiee is kind of cool. I like
that.
The look
Looks
of the
like
Wookiee.
something clipped onto a belt or something, or a hilt. So, but these are the originally released images, whereas the new like the retracted.
Yeah, they've changed it.
They've removed that.
So yeah, we had Jedi Master Saul. Let me just flick ahead. And then they gave us the bad guy. I think she's a bad guy. We don't know. May, the assassin.
So she looks cool. I'm not.
I don't know anything about her yet, so I'm not overly excited. The Jedi I can get excited about because the Jedi. Someone like this, I'm like, I don't know who you are, but you're clearly one of the main protagonists, or like, villains in the piece. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
I like the purple cloth.
Yeah, I do as well.
I know exactly where that purple cloth's going.
On who?
On the Emperor. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, she looks cool. Again, want to know more about her. I'll get more excited. Skipping ahead, we did get the
Gideon.
helmet as well, the Moff Gideon helmet. This is only a rendering. It's not a final product, because everyone kind of jumped in the. When I was watching the live, everyone went mental at the helmet. Went, it's pink. Like, it's a prototype. Calm down.
Yeah,
Not a finished product.
I find it really hard to get excited about renders.
Mm.
Like,
But yeah, they had a prototype helmet. It looked pretty cool. It's another helmet. It's another bucket.
yeah,
They've done thousands at this point. It's going to be all right. It'll be okay. It'll be about 200 quid.
yeah.
Padawan Jekyll Lon. I think that's how you're going to say that. Maybe.
Yeah.
But she looks cool. She looks the coolest out of all of them, in my opinion. I thought she looked genuinely badass.
I couldn't work out what race she was supposed to be,
No idea.
so I don't know whether this is a new species, a new race, whatever it is that they call it in that. But yeah, I'm not sure. But she does look very cool.
Mm.
Nobody wielding dual lightsabers yet, though. Like
Nope.
like Ahsoka.
Nope.
But yeah, I like her. I like the look of her. She looks pretty cool.
Yep.
But it's just so much potential to just release loads, and I think that the one thing that is promising about having these come out is that it shows that there are more Jedi bodies, and there are ways that they can give us different, different characters and like different Jedi characters and stuff. So it opens up a lot of possibility for ones in the future, you know.
Yep. And then they gave us some TVC news as well. R2D2's getting another re-release on the fancy kind of card back.
Yeah.
They've given TVC 2 out of 5 of the Acolyte characters so far.
Yeah.
So you can get your Jedi Master Saul, which does look nice in 3/4 range. And you can also get May.
I'm surprised that they just gave us one Jedi and then the villain though.
TVC in it.
Yeah.
They still release it, but they don't believe in it. You can tell. And then they
Yeah.
gave us Princess Leia in solid plastic.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this. Like, are they just pushing these out now just for the sake of pushing them out?
Feels like it's me. But then they've announced that their next project for HasLab is TVC.
Yeah. So they did a HasLab announcement as well, or a HasLab tease, didn't they? So where are we at? What do you think we're? Because like you say, it's TVC. But the TVC HasLabs do tend to do quite well. And I think it's just because you can get something bigger. Like, obviously, things like the Ghost, for example, if they were going to build that for 6-inch scale, they just wouldn't have been able to make it true to life. Whereas for TVC, they can.
Yeah.
But I'm at a loss as to what it's going to be.
Yeah, 100%. I'm struggling with it.
I don't know. I would really still like to see some sort of playset.
They've said it's going to be world building, and it's something we've never had before. So,
like, when they say we've never had before, does that mean like at all? So,
I guess as good as mine. But because I've always said I would love to see the Endor Forest redone, the Endor set. But
yeah,
then they've never done it. So I mean, we'll see what happens.
I can't think of anything world building that they haven't attempted or they haven't touched on before. That was what threw me.
I'm wondering whether they're going to cash in on the current popularity of either Bad Batch or Rebels right now and give us like a big playset.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They could give us like a big playset rather than a vehicle or like a bar set or something. I'm thinking like full on playset, like big playset.
I'm Mick said in the chat, I thought that was the point of the show. She's a Sith. Okay.
What May? We don't know. May has only been shown so far as like an assassin using knives, and then the Jedi were kind of using the Force to block her, which was quite cool. Rather than just slice her to bits with a lightsaber, they kind of fought back and kind of didn't. They didn't advance. Like, I like the fact that the Jedi in this one are a bit more. They're not just slicey, choppy. They're a bit more like they were clearly trying to just escape the girl and distance themselves from her. They didn't want to kill her because otherwise they could have done. She had blades. They had a lightsaber. They could easily slice her down if they wanted to.
Yeah.
So they were clearly evading rather than attacking, which is the proper Jedi way. So
Spoken by a true Jedi.
it's the more Zen approach, isn't it? Killing was never Jedi. That was the whole point. That's why the Jedi fell, because they became judge, jury, and executioner due to war. The Jedis were guardians of peace.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they come of it. But yeah, like Mick said, HasLab could be Ahsoka's ship. That'd be awesome. They've just imagine Ahsoka's ship. That'd be huge.
But that's not world building.
It's not world building. Yeah, it's not world building. I'm thinking like something massive. So I'm thinking like they've already given us like Tantive 4, which was like a set of walls. Now imagine if they gave us like a Death Star, like a full-on TVC Death Star.
Yeah, but see, Death Star's been done to death. Excuse the pun.
Mm-hmm.
What about something like Vader's Tower or something like that?
That'd be good. What, Mustafar?
Hmm.
Ooh! Imagine the final duel scene for Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's electronic and all the pieces move,
Yeah.
slowly float along. That'd be awesome.
Or even a Jedi Temple-esque kind of thing. But
Order 66. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, look at that! Look, Figure Fan 36 straight in after saying Jedi Temple. You know what? Jedi Temple would work for me, but you'd get figures with it. But what figures would they? They need to have something that would sell.
They could give us the little boy figure that goes, Matthew, there's too many of them.
Yeah, just literally the first tier is children. The second tier is children. It's just more and more children to fill up the Oh, we've lost you. We've lost your sound, Sorrel. No. It's that dodgy PC. It is that dodgy PC. But yeah, I would like a Jedi Temple. Oh no. Yeah, I don't know. Ewok Village, for me, and I posed the question to them a couple of years ago at MCM. Like that to me would make the most sense.
Mm.
Oh, Mick Spectre, Echo Base, Shelley said Cloud City. Cloud City would be a good one.
Echo Base would be good, and you got somewhere to park your Phantom.
Yeah, Cloud City would be a good one.
Your
But-
Ghost.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. What's Mick going on about? What is Mick going on
You
about?
know exactly what he's talking about. all of the younglings and one Anakin.
Yeah.
Oh dear me.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Let me look. I'm having a look here. But yeah. I don't know. Alderaan. How do you say it?
Alderaan. Alderaan to smithereens.
Alderaan. Yeah, that would work. That would definitely work.
What,
I
a
don't know.
bag of pieces?
World building. You've got to put it all back together again. That makes sense. I mean, the reality is there is so much. There is so much that they could potentially do. They could do Hoth, like, Hoth would be a good one.
Mm.
Yeah, like the base and
Yeah, the tower from Lothal, the Rebels Tower, that'd be awesome. Ezra's Tower.
yeah,
Because it featured obviously in Ahsoka, it featured in Rebels. Be a great little. They'd be able to be a lot of things they could put with it.
Or even just, how about it's some kind of like click and build esque kind of street scenes, where like in all of the shows and all of the films, they're at some planet where there's streets and alleyways and rooftops and all that kind of stuff, with the stuff hanging over, like literally in all of them. Rebels, Mandalorian, all the movies. Like, what if it's some kind of some kind of, I don't know,
Like Tatooine.
right, Mick? Yes, but I meant like further out than Echo Base. We're world building here, so I'm not just Echo Base, but Hoth, like the whole thing, like. But yeah,
like a Streets of Tatooine.
yeah, but you could essentially, whatever line of figure you collect, whatever kind of property of Star Wars you're into, the figures would work, because it wouldn't have to necessarily be anywhere particular. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And that would be world building as such. Maz Cantina. Yeah, have they done that before? No.
Nope. We've never had Maz Cantina.
No.
They could do it as well with two. They could do it in 2 layers. So you could have the upstairs bit, which is the Maz Cantina. They could even give you like a secret little down bit with some stairs, and put the chest with the lightsaber in it with Rey. That'd be a really cool scene to recreate. You've just taken a step into a wider world, Rey.
I don't know. There's a lot of opportunity.
We've spent 37 minutes on Star Wars. We've got so much more to talk about. Let's move on.
Okay. Let's move on.
We've got too much entertainment news to get into.
Let's move on.
Mate, what did you think of Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice. I'm hyped.
The juice is back.
The juice is loose. Come on,
juice
get
is
the get that. I am massively hyped. Beetlejuice for me was a film back in the day that I watched over and over and over again. I absolutely loved it. I got into the cartoon and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was one of those films. And yeah, to hear that they were doing a sequel, I was a little bit concerned. And I was even a little bit concerned when I heard that Jenna Ortega was linked to it, because I was kind of like, okay, you're taking the modern weird girl, or you're just trying to, because she does, doesn't she? She plays that kind of modern weird, monotone kind of character. And I don't know, I just was a bit worried that they were going to try to replicate something. But having seen the trailer and read the synopsis, I'm really hyped. I think it could be a really, really worthy sequel. He doesn't look any different.
No, he looks really good. He looks really good.
I mean, obviously, I know he's playing a ghoul and stuff, like, so the makeup obviously helped with that. But he looks really good. Like, it was just that scene though, right at the end of the trailer, where he comes up out of the little village model, and the voice is there and all the rest of it. It's just cool. So who do you think the funeral is?
So I had this discussion on the live, and I think it was Beth that pointed out there's a woman's picture on top of the coffin.
Oh, is there?
Because I assumed it was going to be the father, because obviously for obvious reasons he can't come back.
Yeah.
Because he's been a naughty boy, so he can't come back to the film. So I assumed it would be his and they'd just kill him off. But it looks like it's like a female photo that's on the coffin. So I don't know. It could be the grandmother. It could be anything.
You don't think it's going to be pivotal to the storyline?
No.
No.
Not
Okay.
at all. I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm just thinking they're not gonna kill off Catherine O'Hara. They're not gonna kill off Winona Ryder, and they're not gonna kill off Wednesday Addams either. So
no.
So I don't know who it could be. I'm assuming it. I mean, I assume the reason I said originally, I think it would be best if it was the father's funeral, obviously to write him out, one, to explain why he's not there, but then also it gives the Winona Ryder and her daughter a reason to move in with the mother to, they're there to sort of like help set his affairs straight or whatever, and then that's when Jenny Ortega discovers the upstairs attic and discovers Beetlejuice. You know what I mean?
I think it's going to be an interesting dynamic, her and Beetlejuice, because obviously that's the angle that they're going, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
So that means that obviously Winona Ryder's character is going to play more of a, I don't know, like more of the heroine. Is that the right word? Of the
'Cause
film.
I'm hoping this he sticks with the whole I tried to marry your mother thing, so he tries to be a father figure to Ortega. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping to try and marry her, and then it's going round again. I'm hoping it's more of like a Mickey take of I tried to marry your mother once, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
I could be your father though. I can hear him saying the words. You know what I mean? It sounds funny.
Yeah. Cool.
Some fatherly advice for you. No, I'm not your daddy, but I could be.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be. I kind of hope they lean into the musical a little bit. Have you seen the musical?
Oh yeah, God, mate, have I seen the musical? Everyone in the comments reckon I look like the guy. So I mean,
But I think there's elements of the musical that tell the Beetlejuice story better than the movie did. And I think it would be quite cool if they lent into that a little bit and kind of, obviously they couldn't bring parts of the musical into this film because it's based on the original film, but I don't know, just kind of that vein of kind of comedy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited, and it's not long, is it? It's not long to wait at all.
not at all, not long at all.
Couple of months, is it?
Yeah. Beetlejuice. Let me have a look. Let me get the official date for you. Beetlejuice 2024 movie is on the 5th of September.
September. Okay, so there we go.
Yeah.
So tail end of the year. Okay.
But I'm kind of hoping they do give a at least a walk-on role to what's the guy who plays Beetlejuice on Broadway? Can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I hope they give him a little walk-on part, in all honesty, or something to do in it.
That would be fun.
Because he has kind of brought I don't think without the Beetlejuice musical, Beetlejuice would exist, because it's all the young'uns that are going to the West End to watch Beetlejuice, the musical that's brought it back.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, like the songs were trending on TikTok from the musical, not the film.
Yeah. No. My older kids know Beetlejuice because of the musical, not because of the film.
Same with my
That's
daughter, yeah.
Beetlejuice that they know. And yeah, I mean, Beetlejuice is campy. It is kind of that musical-esque vein, isn't it? And I don't know. I hope they don't overdo it. I hope there's not necessarily a third one, because even the title sets up the opportunity to then put a third one in on the same vein, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean, it would look cool on your DVD shelf, having like Beetlejuice, and Beetlejuice. But I don't know. I'm really excited, and I don't want to get disappointed. Mick, this is the first I've heard of the musical.
Oh, Mick, treat yourself. Go on YouTube. Beetlejuice the musical. Watch some clips. It's amazing.
It is amazing. It really is amazing.
See if you agree with the rest of them. If I look like the main guy, because everyone puts it in my comments. It's ridiculous. I've been told to cosplay him so many times.
You should be a good cosplay. Bethany Beth said, "I just need that announcement for the toy line."
100%.
Yeah, some decent Beetlejuice toys would be cool. They would be cool because they had loads back in the day as well. They were more based on the. There was a lot based on the
cartoon.
The cartoon, but when the film came out, it was one of those weird kind of late 80s, early 90s toy lines like Terminator and Alien and RoboCop and stuff. There were toys for the Beetlejuice film that some of them had nothing to do with the Beetlejuice film. They were they were very similar to the Ghostbuster figures, where like they did something. So I had one what had like snakes come out of his belly. You know when he does the bit where he opens his jacket and like you pressed his leg in or something, and these things came out of his stomach. But they were cool toys. And
I had the one with is it like a carousel in his hat?
Yeah.
I had that one.
Like, yeah. So I'm hoping that we kind of get something. Figure Fan 36 said I could see Super 7 making them for some reason.
Oh god.
Yeah, it would fall in line with their kind of some of the stuff they do.
I'm just gonna say if anything, I hope it's a figure of Beetlejuice, if anything, and it's done by NECA and it scales with the rest of the horror figures. That's all I would ask. I mean, it would be cool to see Hasbro attempt something or whatever after all these years, but let's face it, it's going to be somebody. It's either going to be a movie Maniacs by McFarlane, or it's going to be a full-on NECA release, which I could see it being a NECA release. It's Universal Studios. They already work with Universal on a lot of other projects. So, I mean, Beetlejuice falls under that Universal Monsters kind of banner. I could see them easily giving them the rights to make him.
I would like to see it. I would like to see it as part of the NECA line. I think NECA would do it justice. Movie Maniacs, they're a little bit more statuesque. We have already seen a Hot Toys figure come out.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, a lot of people on the internet as well were commenting about his footwear. And I was like, he's always worn like boots. Like, that's, that's just Beetlejuice. Like, he wears like biker boots, like with his suit. And there was a lot of people commenting about the footwear that he had on. I was like, no, that's what he wears. But yeah, Hot Toys have obviously released one already. That's out there. I'm not sure whether it's based on the new film or based on just Beetlejuice as the property. But it is already out there. If you haven't seen it already, just literally Google Hot Toys Beetlejuice.
Do you know what? It's because a lot of people base their look of Beetlejuice on the Universal Studios character and of the Broadway character. And the Universal Studios character he doesn't wear boots. He just wears black shoes on, and obviously the trousers go over the top of them. He don't wear like a biker boot kind of thing. So I think that people base it on that. All the costumes you buy online are like pinstripe trousers that just go over your shoes.
Yeah. So I always wanted to do Halloween as Beetlejuice. That was always one that I really wanted to do. I'm going to have to leave it now because this year everyone's going to be Beetlejuice, aren't they?
Yeah.
It comes out in September, October Halloween, and October Comic Con. We are going to see tons of Beetlejuice. They're going to be everywhere.
And as I've said before, Hot Topic and what's it called, Halloween thingy in America, Spirit Halloween, is going to be flooded with merchandise this year for that.
Yeah.
Tim Burton will license that to death.
Hands down. Okay, so we stay on the ghost theme and talk about Ghostbusters quick, or do we move over to the animation and talk about previously on X-Men? Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's talk X-Men. Triple G in the comments. Triple G Comics. Hi all. How you doing, buddy? Let's talk X-Men 97 then, because this week we saw the return or the debut. I don't know how you want to say it, because it was a new cartoon. It was a new animation, but a continuation. So is it new or is it a continuation? I don't know. But either way, it was here. It was on our telly. And I loved it. Simple as. I haven't seen a bad comment about it.
No, it was amazing. To touch on what we spoke about previously, because we were wondering whether they were going to recreate are they going to give us the old credits or not? And I like the fact that they did, but it was like a new version of it. But it was still with the same emotions, though. I like the fact that they didn't change anything; they just updated the animation for it, which was great. And then I added in the new guys.
That was fantastically well done. As soon as that came on, and it started with a boom, boom, boom. And I was like, yep, I'm sold. But did you notice that the clips in the thing were different on the first episode than it was on the second episode?
Oh, I did notice.
Yeah. So
I think I skipped intro on the second episode. I think
what?
I probably skipped intro.
What?
I was too excited.
Skip intro on X-Men. You never do it. That's like a skip intro should not be a function on the X-Men. I'm so disappointed in you, Mr. Sorrell. Yeah, but no, I was really hyped. I was really hyped, and I love the fact that it didn't carry on like the next day. So everyone was talking about it literally being the next day, and it wasn't. And
there's been a minimum of about 9 months.
Yeah,
we know that for a fact.
Easy. I don't even know where. Like, let's go through the characters, right?
Mhm.
Cyclops, I absolutely hated when it came on, and I was like, "Oh, you Boy Scout! Like you're trying to be too clean cut, yada yada yada." And then that landing, that superhero landing, I was like, "There's my boy." There's my son. That was, and I'm going to go on the record now, like, quote me on it. That was the best superhero landing, period. Like, it beats every other superhero landing in every other film, movie, cartoon, or whatever. That was the best superhero landing for Marvel, for DC, and all the rest of it. Like, it was insane. You not agree?
Oh yeah, 100%. It was great.
It was just like and I think it was the second episode, wasn't it? Or was it the first? I don't know. It was just that kind of falling through the sky, just like see on the ground. Oh, mate, it was insane. It was so good, so good. So Jean, I felt was a little bit. There's obviously a deeper story going on here, and I think the Jean story is gonna kind of develop as we go through. But I don't know. She was just
Well, we got
kind of
that.
in the
Well, we
way
got
a
that
little.
cliffhanger, didn't we, in the second episode?
Oh, massive cliffhanger. Massive cliffhanger. So yeah, we won't give too much away for anyone that hasn't seen it. But yeah, I just felt that she was a little bit in the way. It was just like you're boring me a little bit. Morph, I really liked. I really enjoyed Morph. Only because he morphed into so many different characters, and I don't know. I suppose did more morphing than Morph did originally. Like that's what you would do, wouldn't it? If you're in fights or whatever, you would literally morph from character to character. And we saw a whole array of characters, like Angel when they were falling down, like Psylocke when we were,
Psylocke, yeah.
and then they're fighting and stuff. And it was just really nice to be able to see all of those characters. I really enjoyed Storm's arc. I think it's going to be a real story focused on Storm. Wolverine was just Wolverine. Wasn't anything really more to it, was it? Like, stop moping, mate. Get over it. The girl is not interested. Like, she's with Cyclops. Like, just get over it. Jubilee was okay. Like, I didn't, she felt more mature. She felt like she had aged more, and I think that's because of obviously the inclusion of Sunspot.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I thought that she came with like a bit of a more mature vibe to her. Bishop was cool. I liked Bishop a lot, but we didn't really see him a huge amount. No explanation as to why he had a haircut. Rogue and Gambit. What was your? They were my favourite duo in the original series.
Yeah, they're going deep on the comic book references on this one as well, which I've noticed. They're pulling in a lot of comic history into the storyline this time around. They're just because they touched on the whole Magneto Rogue thing from when Rogue was back in the Brotherhood of Mutants. So that's a very old storyline.
So that scene where she was in the office with him and like slips off her. Did they do naughty things?
I don't know. I'm
was
guessing
that
so.
just oh, it's nice to see you again kind of thing?
And Gambit
all happened.
I don't know. And Gambit drops the Queen of Hearts card as well at that moment. You see how throws the Queen of Hearts card down. Boom.
I would quite like to see there being a bit of tension here and being a new love triangle-esque sort of storyline.
100%.
Gambit,
It's just weird that it's with a 60-year-old man in it. It's just weird.
Yeah, it is a little bit, but as you say, it's comic book. It's all there. It's all kind of Gambit, I really enjoyed Gambit. I thought he was a really interesting character, and I liked him in a tank top. I'm just going to say it. Yeah, I liked his little tank top scene in the kitchen. Very 90s. Reminded me very much of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will Smith used to wear the tank tops all the time. Rogue was okay. I thought she rogued. That was it. Magneto. I really enjoyed Magneto. Who's your favourite though?
What, so far?
Yeah.
God, I'm a Gambit fanboy, so I've got to say Gambit.
Yeah.
I'm a massive fanboy for Rogue and Gambit.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I'm interested to see what storyline they're going to go with there. And with Storm out the way, the thing is they needed to nerf Storm for a bit because she is literally, like Eric Lanch says, she is the closest thing to a god in their world. So if by nerfing her powers for a bit, it gives a place on the team for Sunspot. Sunspot's powers with Storm's powers are very similar. I know they're not the same because one's solar power and things, but they're very similar-esque powers. They're both very much gods on Earth. So with her out the way, they can bring in Sunspot, and he's the guy that's going to fly and bring down the kind of like from the sky kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think that's how they're going to introduce him. Then obviously because they've lost Storm, they're going to call on like Nightcrawler, and we're going to start seeing other characters reappear now.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I'm reading into it. But yeah, I'm guessing there's going to be something about Storm in the mid part of it all, and she's going to get her powers back or start to get them back. I don't think she's going. They're never going to rule her out forever.
No.
But where do you think she's going?
I couldn't figure that one out.
I'm wondering whether we're going to finally see her in Wakanda. Are they going to touch on her storylines in Wakanda with Black Panther? That'd be cool to see her at the side of Black Panther, because she was his wife.
Yeah, they were married.
They were married in the comics, so it'd be cool to kind of see that storyline come to, and like that'd be cool to then, because in the original storylines we did have like the Avengers and Spider-Man, or they were all interlinked. So I mean, it'd be a cool way to kind of give us a nod to any future animation plans they've got.
Yeah.
If they suddenly bring in Black Panther, you know they've got plans for the Avengers.
I mean, Black Panther in itself would be quite a good animation to have.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. She could be going there. I think it's just funny that she left literally like 20 minutes before the real Jean turned up.
Yeah.
Like that did tickle me. But no, I just think it's done. I think as a whole, it's really done justice to the like historical element of X-Men 90s of X-Men.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really it's quite an achievement to be able to take something that's that old and continue it kind of almost seamlessly. So yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. What did you make of Executioner, the kind of bad guy?
Yeah, he was all right. He kind of. I don't think they're going to do much more else with him now. And they captured him, and he done.
Yeah, I think that, and that would make it really funny that they've released a Hasbro figure of him, and he's literally in it for like 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's because he would have been the thing they would have seen, because I know a lot of people got to see the first 2 or 3 episodes. Yeah. So I mean, that would have been the character they would have seen. So make a figure, why not? I don't blame them.
Yeah.
but now we've all seen it and who he is and what it is, and he's going to shelf warm now for years.
Yeah. But speaking of the figures, it's interesting because there's quite a few figures that we like. Nightcrawler, for example, we've just had in that wave 2. And we haven't even seen a sniff of him, have we? Like, there's no mention of where he is or anything like that. So I do wonder whether they're going to make the team bigger, whether they're going to kind of bring more characters in to grow the size of the team. Because in that first episode, they already brought down the Sentinels and Master Mold and the kind of uprising of the anti-mutant people and stuff. So I wonder where it's going to go. So they're obviously going to need something that's like big team level sort of thing. Beast, we haven't even spoken about Beast. Beast was very Beast. Like I think he was the most seamless out of all of them. I think it literally just felt like he had finished one script and gone on to the next. Like there was no there was no jump at all. It was a very, very seamless transition with Beast. And he was always one of my favourites back in the day when I used to watch it.
Yeah, Beast used to bore me to death.
Did he?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, he was just like that wise uncle that you kind of like you go to for advice, and then you end up talking to for like an hour and a half about nothing. And that's how he kind of came across. It was like you never really saw him. I quite enjoyed him when they were fighting the Sentinels, because it felt like for the first time that he was really using his powers in that respect.
Yeah.
He always seemed very reserved and really
I like the bit where they showed the picture on the wall of the original X-Men team with Iceman and stuff.
Yeah.
Paying homage to the comics and stuff. I liked that. That was very cool.
I can't remember what happened to Iceman in the series.
I've got no idea. It's been a long time since I watched them.
No, I can't. If anyone in the chat remembers, like, I don't remember why Iceman isn't part of the.
Because it's too big. It's too busy being super friends with Spider-Man and Human Touch.
Is that why he went off and played Super Friends? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, like him and Angel, like where they are, because Iceman was always one of my favourites. Okay, there you go, Mick Spector. He left and settled down. There you go. He left. He had a family. And then she left and joined X Factor. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying not to read too much into it or have too many high expectations, just because I really enjoyed it for what it was, and I just kind of want to enjoy it as we go.
100%. I'm with you on that.
So last but not least, before we kind of round off the show, let's talk
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. So of course, if you
Yeah.
haven't seen it already, then of course you can mute us, come back later on, or anything like that. Just as a disclaimer, I haven't seen it yet. I was due to see it Friday evening. One thing led to another, and I just wasn't able to get there. But we are going to discuss it because I'm not too bothered about spoilers. It's not like for me, I don't think there's too much to spoil. I think I could pretty much guess the plot. I'm guessing that something spooky happens. They have to kind of get the old team back together. The old team has to teach the new team. The spooky thing gets spookier. They then get Ghostbusterier. They defeat the spooky thing, and then it kind of vaguely leads on to something else. Is that about it?
To an extent. My favourite part was James Acaster. I've just got to say, James Acaster was a standout in that.
Yeah.
I was expecting him just to be the comedy relief, and to be fair, he played a good role in it. He's a decent actor. He's not bad. Because when they said James Acaster was in, yeah, when they announced James Acaster in the cast, I was like, really?
Yeah.
He's just such a random little British comic, isn't he?
I'm here. My camera's just gone off. I'm here. Keep talking.
You all good?
Yeah, I'm good. You carry
All
on.
right, cool. So yeah, we had all that stuff, but it was cool to see all the original Ghostbusters back, all suit up as well. Zeddemore obviously got a bigger role now. He's the kind of like owner of Ghostbusters, kind of like Inc. or whatever you want to call it. Like he's the owner of the big overall company now, and they've got like a lab across the lake in Manhattan or whatever it is, across in New York, and they've got like a science lab where they're experimenting on ghosts and stuff. So that is very cool. They've kind of given him like the bigger piece of the pie, which is great. Because he was always the Ghostbuster that was like the least thought of, wasn't he, back in the day, without being mean?
Yeah.
He was always the other Ghostbuster that joined later.
Well, that's what I think is really cool, and like as a story arc, because he's the one that joins because they need an extra set of hands.
Yeah.
And so to watch it as a continuation, the guy that kind of joined the team has then kind of gone on to grow the team and everything like that. And I think that's a really beautiful kind of transition when you actually look at it as a whole.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what you would expect from somebody like with progress and development and stuff. So, yeah.
But yeah, basically there's a family heirloom that is brought into Ray's bookstore, Ray's Occult.
Yeah.
And obviously he gets a lot of random stuff in. Him and Podcast have got a YouTube channel now. Where they get people to bring items in that are supposedly haunted. He uses the EK meter on it to see if it's possessed.
Perfect.
And all that kind of stuff. And from there, there's kind of like the demon kind of then escapes, and as you can imagine, all hell breaks loose.
Yep.
Although the bit with the demon and his horns made me laugh, because all I could hear was Jack Black's voice in my head going, "From whence you came, you shall remain until you are complete again." That's all I could hear.
Excuse me. Was the big bad big and bad enough?
Yeah. So there was a really cool way there was a really cool way that they brought him into it. I'm trying to go around this without giving you every single plot point for the movie, but there was a girl ghost character that they brought in that made friends with Phoebe.
Okay.
But this girl ghost wanted to cross over, and the big bad was stopping her from crossing over until she'd done this thing. So basically, Phoebe had understood the words to open the sphere that unleashes the big bad, basically. So the girl ghost got her to go to the lab, and you know that machine I mentioned that extracts ghosts?
Yeah.
Got her to go in it and put herself in it so they could be on the same spectral plane, even if it was for a few moments. So she extracts her own soul from her own body, basically, for like a timer of 2 minutes. And obviously the big bad, he can't control humans, but he can control demons and spirits. So he's able to take control of Phoebe's body. Makes Phoebe recite the words, demon ball opens, and out comes big bad.
Oh wow. Cool.
So it's a very cool way of doing it. And then obviously from there, then it's just about the Ghostbusters all teaming together. All the old guys come back in, Ray and that, all come out and suit up again. Zedamore turns up in his fancy suit and then goes and suits up in the old grey, so it's good. And you even get Janine in a suit as well. They don't really do much, the older cast. I've got to admit that is the one thing. Ray gets the most action time out of all of them. Bill Murray rocks up at last minute and kind of drinks from a whiskey bottle from a cupboard that apparently has been there since the original film. And then they all fight the big bad, and Phoebe's the main one that kills him again, because Phoebe's awesome.
One question I've got. The red Parker jackets, how much do they feature in the film?
For about 4 seconds.
No way, really?
Yeah. So the whole of New York doesn't ice over until the very last 5-10 minutes of the movie.
But all the Ghostbuster groups, like literally a red
are fighting and clamouring to try and get them.
Yeah, the price of these things went over the top, and all the Ghostbuster cosplays and that kind of stuff, like, were literally going out of their way to get these things.
So, like Mick says, they got cut. So most of the scenes that we've seen of like them wearing them, what you've seen so far is not even in the movie. What we see is Phoebe gets frozen at one point, and basically at the end of the film, they give her one of the red Parker jackets to put on to warm her up again.
Oh right, so you don't see them all with the proton packs on with these red.
No. Like he says, Lucky and Les get to wear one, like in the film. Phoebe gets one for like all of 5 minutes, I think, if I remember right.
That's annoying. Well, I'm surprised that we haven't seen anything from the Plasma series yet with like the Ghostbuster figures.
I don't think they're going to give us Plasma series at all now.
Do you not? You think
it's too late. It's too late now. The film's already out. A lot of critics have already panned it. A lot of people in America have already panned it. It's gone down well between like me and Mick and a bunch of friends, but I mean the wider picture, it has been panned by critics. But I don't understand why.
No, it's a
like I was saying. Film. Yeah, like I was saying to you before we came on camera. Ghostbusters, we all saw it as kids.
Yeah.
It's not a movie made for middle-aged adults. It really isn't. It's a film that is made for families and kids. It's a comedy sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be a big bad evil horror film.
Yeah. I never saw Ghostbusters as a, and I think as well, I think this is the mistake that the female-led one made. Like, there's you can criticize that however you want to criticize it, because it obviously got a lot of criticism. But I think that's the mistake. I didn't mind it, but that's the mistake that one went, is that they aimed it at an older audience, whereas Ghostbusters, like the majority of the fandom of Ghostbusters were around the real Ghostbusters and the extreme Ghostbusters, like the cartoons and stuff. Yeah. The movies were aimed at the younger audience. Like you say, it was a spooky comedy. It was one of those films, if it came out nowadays as an original piece, it wouldn't gauge the interest of the older audience. It would gauge the interest of the younger audience, and that's what it's always been. And I've always viewed the Ghostbusters kind of franchise as something that I can enjoy, as something from my childhood, if that makes sense. So I never really. Afterlife probably pushed it as far as they possibly could by giving us like a mature kind of callback to what had been. If that makes sense. But the rest of the film is very campy and fun, and
Yeah.
what it needed to be. But yeah, I never wanted this to be aimed at me now. I wanted this to be something that I could go and see with my kids.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what this film is. It's a continuation of the story of Afterlife. It's It's the same feels, the same comedy, same writers and stuff. So it's the same sort of level.
Yeah.
Personally, I see this as a third arc movie. I think there's definitely a third film to be had here. I don't think they're done yet. I think the storyline's got one more in it. After that, they'd be pushing it. But I think 3 movies would round out this storyline with Phoebe quite well. They need something. They need to come full circle with it. Because that in the first film, she kind of like uncovers her uncle's stuff and they become Ghostbusters kind of thing. Then in this film, she gets sidelined a little bit because she's not actually 18. She gets sidelined because she's only a young kid. So it'd be cool for the next film to take place and she's a fully fledged Ghostbuster again, and then for that to come full circle and it's the young kids take control of the team without the help of the adults. You know what I mean? Like Zeddamore's kind of like the guy watching over them, and the youngsters kind of take over the team. That's how I see it. But
Yeah. Does Paul Rudd's character, is it Gary, I think his name is, or something like that?
Mhm.
Is he a Ghostbuster now?
Yeah, him and the mum are the ghost. So it's him and the mum and Phoebe and the brother. And then obviously they have like the opening chase scene with a ghost, and they destroy a section of New York as Ghostbusters always do, and the blame obviously Phoebe gets a little bit of the blame. She's only a youngster, so basically saying why you got child labour in your company, So they've kind of have to sideline her for a little while, and that's when she goes off and does her own thing, and she has her own fun. But yeah, that's kind of like where they go with it. So it's them 4 are kind of the new Ghostbusters.
The thing is, as well, is if they are building on the concept of like a franchise and other Ghostbuster teams, like they could quite easily do a third arc movie, and then do some kind of TV show.
Yeah.
Some kind of TV show that then goes off in a completely different direction.
Yeah, I mean, like the third film for this particular story, I don't think that they could milk Phoebe and Paul Rudd after the next movie. I think they've got one more film in them, and I think they need to move on and do something else with the franchise. That's how I see it.
Yeah. It's got so much potential. It could go on for ages, and I think that TV is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, like Mick says, Ghostbusters International now has to be a thing. So yeah, we start to see them kind of things coming into it. It's like Zeddamore is evolving the company. They've made a bigger trap because obviously the trap in the old ghost house starts malfunctioning because they've never emptied it. They've been filling it up with ghosts since 1970. So. Sorry, 980. So basically, they have to. There's a whole thing about that, and then they've built bigger traps, and they've kind of developed new weapons, and you can see them they're testing things in this lab, and there's a bigger picture thing going on with it, 100%.
That's very cool. See, the way I've always pictured it is that you would have your Ghostbusters 1, your Ghostbusters 2. You would then have there you go. Mick said, "Not a trap, the containment unit." You would have your Ghostbusters 1, your Ghostbusters 2. That's your kind of origin story. And then you've got Afterlife and Frozen Empire and whatever the third one is. That's your kind of rebirth expansion into the international side of it. And then what I think would be a really good concept for a television show is to literally show Ghostbusters International. But even if it was like a 6-parter, but each part is a completely different team in a completely different place.
Yeah.
So there's no kind of continuation through the series of a storyline. But episode 1 would be, someone like a team in England. Episode 2 would be like the French team. Episode 3 would be like the South American team or something. Do you know what I mean? Like all these kind of different teams that just the story is kind of opened and closed within that episode, and then it kind of also gives them the opportunity to see what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
So if people go, oh, actually, the French storyline was really exciting or really interesting, they then have a potential to kind of build off of that and do like more episodes or a movie and build it that way. That's how I would do it. But then it would also give you so much more Ghostbusters content without ruining what was before.
I think a British Ghostbusters, take it away from America for a bit, a British Ghostbusters would be hilarious.
Oh, I think it'd be super.
Because
And-
we've got the history in this country for some really interesting ghosts.
Yeah.
And some really interesting villains. So, I mean, I think there would be some, because Britain's full of suave millionaire idiots that want ghosts and want to try and contain them. So, I mean, there could be some really cool storylines behind that.
Yeah.
Bring in some of the Masonic past and all that kind of stuff, and Knights Templar, and there's some good storylines to be had.
Well, you just imagine if they did it, if they had 6 parts and they were in a different place for each one, and they focused on the historical element of the ghosts that were available, it would be really cool. Because, America, yes, it has its history or whatever, but there are other countries that are a lot older that have a lot deeper history and could have some really interesting ghosts and villains and stuff like that. So having that little kind of 60-minute episodes or whatever, 59-minute episodes, different country each time, slightly different costumes, slightly different uniform, whatever. But yeah, I just think that would be really interesting and really exciting to watch.
Yeah, 100%. One thing to mention as well about the film, just for you, is that you do see a lot of the old faithful ghosts. So like Slimer gets a little bit of screen time, which is fun, and we even get to see the librarian ghost again. So I liked that bit. Yeah, librarian ghost is there. She's in the library.
She's still
there.
The first film was on telly earlier, and it was one of them ones that my 2 boys were in there. One of them's 5, one of them's 11. And I was like, my youngest one was like, Ghostbusters is on. I was like, oh, brilliant. And they're in the library scene. I was like, I'll just look away for a sec, because I'm not sure how you're going to feel about this. I was on at like 4:30 in the afternoon. And I told my older one, I was like, watch this though. Like, watch it. This is like Ghostbusters. And it happened. And he was like, okay. And I was like, that scared me as a kid. Like that blew my mind. He was like, yeah, okay. Like,
I mean, the weird monkey puppet in a wig.
Yeah.
You look back now, and it's so bad in it.
Yeah.
But as a kid, it terrified me and all. I hated that bit. I hated that bit with a passion.
That was the only bit of the film that I couldn't get through without being freaked out.
It wasn't the bit where they changed into the demon thing. It was just her going shh and looking away. Like, that terrified the crap out of me. Like, don't do that, you weirdo.
I put it down to the fact that kids nowadays don't spend enough time in libraries to know that librarian is scary. Yeah.
But yeah, it was. Sorry, I've just read Mick's comment. So put me off. The bit in the library as well, because you get to see like Ray and Phoebe and that, because you've been sidelined. They have their own little like mini story going on about they kind of are the reason the whole thing kicks off. But anyway, they kind of have their own little story going on. They go to the library to meet another another friend of theirs who's played by your Patton Oswalt, and when they're leaving the library, you sort of see Ray walks past the sort of like the bit the what do you call them, the library bits, the long book cases, and he sort of turns his head and sort of stops, and it cuts to down the thing, and shh, like, oh, she's still there.
Brilliant.
Perfect
Is that all
homage.
you see? She doesn't become the monkey puppet. She's just...
No, she does again. Yeah. She does the whole. He sort of hangs around for a second, and then turns back into the librarian.
Awesome. Janko T as well said, as a kid, I could never watch Ghostbusters 2 with a kid being taken by the nanny, which when I watch it now as an adult is basically a manny drag. It was like, yeah. It's funny though, isn't it? Yeah. And again, Mick said Gozer was just Ziggy Stardust. Yeah. See, I didn't find Gozer scary, and I think that's what, and this is where a lot of people are kind of wanting.
What, the ballerina in the flat top?
Yeah.
No, I was never terrified of that at all.
No, people want Ghostbusters to be scary, but it wasn't scary. The scariest bit was the librarian at the beginning. Like the rest of it was all very, like, look at Slimer, for example. Like, Slimer wasn't scary. There wasn't anything scary about that. He was like a ghost. Like, but yeah. Mick, but did you think that as a kid, or did you think that now as an adult? But yeah, and Ghostbusters 2 again, like, Ghostbusters 2 was a little bit more on the nose with the kind of the concept of it. But pink goo, do you know what I mean? There wasn't anything scary about that. That wasn't a scary thing. It was just Ghostbusters. Like, you know what? I think there were actually scarier ghosts in the cartoon, in the real Ghostbusters cartoon. There were ones that scared me more as a kid watching the cartoon than the ghosts in the film.
Mick, speaking of Vigo, because they've clearly invented that that new machine where they can extract spirits from objects. Do you think there's a plan for a third movie where Vigo could return, and the reason Zedamore's made that is because he wants to try and extract Vigo the spirit from the Vigo portrait, and they've kept it after all these years or something, and that's the third movie?
It does sound like the fact that the painting was like specifically an item that was linked to that particular spirit. The fact that they've created something to take a spirit out of an item is very specific.
They do, isn't it? And it feels, I could see them then doing the third film is kind of like the Ghostbusters 2, not remake, but you like the Afterlife was Ghostbusters 1 all over again.
Yeah.
The third movie in the franchise could be the Vigo storyline again, brought back for a new generation, basically.
And this one's just basically like a bridge.
Yeah, and then just to bridge everything together nicely, and then end it off with then they could round off Phoebe's storyline then as well.
Yeah, that's fair enough. There's
yeah. That's the thing as well, mate. Is the brass frame keeping Vigo in it? Because they did a point of mentioning that in the film as well, that brass can hold demons in him. Like obviously, they made a whole like storyline of making sure to tell you like lamps and things like that have been used to hold genies over the years, like spooks and specters. They can't get out of brass, and obviously, like you say, Vigo's portrait was made completely of brass. Is that what's keeping him in it? Is that what kept him from getting out?
Yeah.
Interesting. I think there's a third film for Vigo. I really do. A retelling of that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential, and I really do hope that the franchise kind of lives on. I really do, just because Ghostbusters was so cool. Like as a kid, I just it was just very cool, and I hope there's a bit more life in it. I really do. Jenko T said, "Good theory, Ash."
Yeah, Mick helped a lot with that one.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm gonna try to catch it this week. I reckon I'll get down there and see it this week. Yeah, I'll get down there and see it this week. Was there any big callback to Egon? Did they go overdo that again?
No, not really. Just the fact that they did kept mentioning, you are a Spengler. Be a Spengler. They didn't bother bringing him back again, which I thought they were going to for a second, because there's a bit where Phoebe's the only surviving member, that everyone else is frozen up and we can't do anything. She's now got this special proton pack that she's lined the thing with brass instead of whatever it is that you normally use. It's because then her proton beam then goes yellow, and it's like a new way of stopping the demon. And there's a bit where she's like, because she's only little, she's like kind of like struggling with the proton beam, and you're kind of half expecting Egon's ghost to pop in again and go, "Here we go again."
Yeah, this worked well the first time,
but no, they didn't. They didn't use him.
That was I didn't think they would. But I was just a bit hesitant.
The bit in the park. They do a fake out as well in the park. I did for a split second when the pieces started moving again. I thought, is she playing with Egon? But no, it turns out to be another girl ghost that is another character in the film. Yeah.
So it was I don't know. They could have very easily made it that he was still hanging around and basically was the kind of ghost member of the team, but I'm glad that they didn't.
But Mick, that's the thing. Vigo tries to control babies, though. Yeah, exactly. And you know who's just gotten together, who's definitely going to have another kid. Phoebe's mum and Paul Rudd. and that's where the baby comes into it. Telling you right now.
There you go. You heard
Third
it here
movie.
first.
That's where I reckon it is. That's where I reckon the third film's at.
So they have a baby. They extract him from the painting,
Vigo steals the baby. Ghostbusters have to suit up and save the day.
and it's basically a rehash of Ghostbusters 2, just done in a modern world.
Yep.
That leads on to a Ghostbusters International opportunity
Yep.
spin-off.
Yep. 100%.
There you go. There you go. You heard it here
Complete
first.
with purple goo.
Yeah. Got the purple goo.
Complete with purple goo.
No, I feel that goo and slime was very 90s. Like, you had goo and slime in a lot of things, and it was very 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Very 90s. So yeah, there we go. So anything else that we've got to cover? Right, that we've had quite a lot of entertainment this week.
That was kind of it.
Yeah. I just yeah. Yeah. There wasn't much else, was there? There really wasn't. So obviously next week we would have had another episode of X-Men, so I'm sure we'll talk about that. On the flip side, I'm kind of caught up with Bad Batch now because I'm actually caught up to it. And just very quickly, Jenko, we talked about this just before you met us, but the Plasma series is kind of dead in the water.
It's the fact that they've not even released any of the current merch line, because they've got all the basic stuff in America. They've got it all. We've got not got a thing. It's hard to even find the little mystery Slimer and Stay Puft minis. You can't. I'd have thought they'd have been out in the UK because they usually sell well. Tesco usually get the Grogu ones in, so I assumed they'd be on the shelves by now.
They the HasLabs for Ghostbusters as well. The Hasbro HasLabs have done really, really good. Like, they've done really, really well. I just think if there was merch, we would have seen it already.
Yeah, 100%.
Mick Spector saying I'm dying for more plasmas, but they did do the glow in the dark ones recently, didn't they? The Ecto Slime ones. They were the most recent ones. But yeah, I hope that it's not a deadline. I hope there's more coming.
I think we'll get a re-release of the originals very soon because the price of Egon has gone through the roof now. So I reckon we'll get a repack of the original 4 again in a 4-pack or something. They'll come in with the long boxes. We'll get the 4 main Ghostbusters and Proton packs and stuff. I reckon that'll be the next thing that'll come out.
It makes sense. They could kind of dine off it. They could do a 4-pack from Ghostbusters 1, 4-pack from Ghostbusters 2, a 4-pack from Ghostbusters Answer the Call, like a 4-pack from Ghostbusters Afterlife. Like they could put box sets together quite easily. On a side note though, Bad Batch, obviously we're up to episode 8. How many more episodes have you got of that?
It's quite a long series. I think it's about 20 odd episodes.
Yeah, so that's just going to keep on. That's just going to keep on going. For anyone else that's an Invincible fan, Invincible is back on Amazon Prime, so season 2 is carrying on. We're now 2 more episodes down, so it is very, very good. Very, very, very good. I'm not going to bore anyone that doesn't watch it, but go and watch it. It's a very good series. And that's about it. That's about it.
Yeah, the only other thing we got was the little sneak peek of Alien Romulus. Do you see that?
Yep.
So we got aliens back. We'll see how that plans out in future. But yeah, they've got a teaser trailer out so far, similar to Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is just a very basic trailer, and they released a little mini trailer for Chucky's final episodes, which looks very weird because Chucky the doll apparently is getting old, which is weird. He's like an old man.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense at all. But we'll see how that plans out. And one thing that I did want to touch on you before we go was, did you see about the weird monster universe that's coming? The Pooniverse.
Yeah,
The Pooniverse.
We did. We talked about it, didn't we? The Pooniverse.
They've linked in so many projects now as well. We've got so many weird ones coming out.
You know what? Pinocchio Unhinged or Unstrung or whatever. That's got real potential to be really scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, if they go down the route of the kind of 80s, 90s Puppet Master, Child's Play, all that kind of stuff. They could make it really scary, which I think would be very cool. Bambi, like, an angry deer, like just running around and running into cars and stuff. Like, what is that's whatever. Alice in Wonderland.
See, they've not announced an Alice in Wonderland movie. They've kind of announced that they make the three that they've announced is Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare,
Yeah.
Pinocchio Unstrung, and Bambi the Reckoning.
Yeah.
But they've also mentioned that the other characters that are going to appear along the route and along the way is the Mad Hatter
Yeah.
and Sleeping Beauty,
Yeah.
which is the weirdest selection of characters ever.
I'm here for it. I'm just not. I don't know what to expect.
So Sleeping Beauty has the power to put people to sleep. That's why they're going to go something as simple as that, I reckon. And when she sends them into sleep, they go into the Wonderland world of Mad Hatter's nightmares, and he's a bit like a Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. See, I thought that she would be more of the Freddy Krueger.
Oh, right, okay, like a female
But
Freddy.
It's Sleeping Beauty, but she's in your dreams.
In
So
your
I'm
dreams.
thinking adult type of films. These are obviously aimed more at adults.
Oh yeah, God, yeah.
She ends up in your naughty dreams and kills you.
In your naughty dreams.
That's how I see it. That it'll be more a case of that. You know, she'll show up in people's dreams, and they'll think it's all something cool, and then it'll be like a female Freddy Krueger kind of thing.
Yeah, very cool.
That's how I saw that working. The Mad Hatter, I'm not quite sure whether it'll be like a, I don't know. But the poster that came out for it was very like, why is Winnie the Pooh riding Bambi?
For reasons unknown to us mere mortals.
But no, I Pinocchio, I'm all for. I think that could be really twisted. But yeah, it's happening. it's
happening, all right, and I'm all for it. I can't wait.
Yeah. I think it'll be really good. I think that if they do it properly and they don't cheap out on it and try to make it a B movie, I think if they try to aim to make it a good films, I think it will do quite good.
Yeah, the only other thing that was kind of note this week, which made me absolutely laugh my head off, was because I love a good B movie, and I always have to point something out to you and make you laugh.
Yep.
So today's finale, I'm going to introduce you to a new movie.
Here we go.
It's a B-list movie, of course. I want to introduce you to Bikers versus Werewolves.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, Bikers versus Werewolves. And you must be thinking, oh man, I bet those werewolves look really badass.
I bet they do.
Let's have a look at how badass these werewolves look.
That cover was clearly like AI. Let's be honest. Let's have a look at him.
Oh yeah, he's even got a human hand. What is going on?
And you can see the edge of his costume.
Yep. You can see where the mask actually the mask is sat over the top. It should be underneath. They meant to tuck those in.
Oh, mate.
Yep. Oh yeah, Bikers versus Werewolves, people. Go see it now.
Mick said, "Are the bikers mice?" The best autocorrect of the day. Are the bikers nice? Yes, Mick. Yes, Mick. The bikers are very nice. They just have they get a bad rap. No, that's cool. Well, there we go. Episode 144 of Geek Week. Of course, we were supposed to have a special guest, but he's going to come and join us on another week. A few technical issues and stuff and whatnot. We have got a few more guests lined up, but they are a bit more few and far between. We're kind of spreading them out a little bit now because we've done best part of 3 months now of guest after guest after guest, haven't we? So we're spreading them out, and we will have some other guests on. But yeah, it's all good. It is all good. If you're watching us on catch up, SuperSorrell, what is it they need to put in the comments?
Hashtag catch up crew.
And of course, if you've been watching us live and joining in, we really do appreciate you. Thank you very much for joining in with the chat and giving us your thoughts and opinions, etc. We will be back next week with episode 145. Mixed, get Andy on. All right. So let's have a chat. Maybe we'll get Andy on. Episode 145 of the Geek, same time. Of course, check the description of the videos, got all the links to various different social medias and everything like that. But yeah, that's us. We're done. Anything you want to add?
I want Shelley to come on and explain that profile picture.
Yeah, why is it not?
Shelley, please. Shelley, please explain.
Yeah, Shelley. Yeah. No, we appreciate you all. Thank you very much. Until next week, you know what I'm going to say. Keep it geek.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and of course subscribe. Tune in next week for another live show. Until then, keep it geek. Stay up to date at www.geekweekinreview.co.uk.